What is going on, guys? It is Riv for Wolfpack Productions, and Riv's Game Room is open once again. Now, before we move on, I've had to switch the theme music because it kept getting blocked in 2 places, and I don't want to be blocked anywhere. I want everybody to enjoy this video any way they can. With that out of the way, let's get right into it, shall we? And this, everybody, this is Monster in My Pocket on the NES. Now, this game was actually first featured on Nick Arcade when it came out. That's how I came to know it. Now, right off the bat, we're going to see that we have 2 character options here. You have the vampire and the monster, which you can toggle between them by pressing select. I always use the monster. Skip that because everybody else does. Basically, you're going around the house eliminating the monsters. B is attack, A is jump. Should be the other way around, but hey, it works for some games like this one. Of course, I'm on the Retron 5 as usual using an SNES controller, so... I can't remember... Okay, it's down and B picks up the key. I don't know why you need it. I've never actually been able to figure out why you would need the key, but... Graphically, this game is actually pretty good. I don't think anybody would be surprised that it's actually pretty good. Konami stuff usually is. Castlevania and Contra say hello. And I don't think Contra is Konami. I don't remember right now. Let me know in the comments if I got that wrong, because I'm almost sure I did. Okay, so you get 5 hits. 5 hits, you get hit 5 times, you'll lose a life. Now, the only thing I don't think needs to be on the bottom part of the screen is the logo for the game. You already know what game you're playing. Okay, so that's how you needed, that's where you needed the key right there to open that door. Graphically, the game's what you expect of an NES game. From one of the big companies like your Konamis, your Nintendos, your Capcoms, any of those. I can say the same with the music too. It's exactly what you expect. You expect it to be good, and it is. Now, why is this game underrated? Simple. I feel like it needs to be talked about more. And it really does. It's right up there, I think, with Metal Storm, another game that I have to cover for an underrated games episode at some point. I like the cracks in the wall. It really adds graphical detail to this part of the stage. I feel like another good thing about this game is it's one that anyone can pick up and play. There might be a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get it down, you got it. You're good to go. By no means, though, is this an easy game. At least from my opinion, anyway. $500 points, you get an extra life. Oh look, we get a cat boss. I don't like cats. This is perfect. Just keep hitting him. I should give you points for every hit you score on this guy because, really, I called him a cat. He reminds me of a flipping kangaroo. He's hopping all over the place. You only get 5 points for defeating that boss. Stage 1 is clear. That's good to know. Big Trouble in Little Kitchen. AKA Big Trouble in the Kitchen stage. I get a feeling in this stage points might be doubled. I don't know. I get another chance to go collect the key, though. Do I really want to? I kind of need to, so I gotta get up there. I don't know how to get up there, though. That's the problem. Is the game doesn't let you go back. Which is a huge flaw of this game, in my opinion anyway. This game will not let you go back. Okay, so you have to hold it to double jump. Okay. Very competent platformer. It's a very good game, actually. Like I said, it is underrated. That is why it's in this episode. And that has been Monster in My Pocket. We'll be right back with final thoughts in just... So that, of course, was Monster in My Pocket. And then I'd say go pick this one up. I have a little story about this one. My friend Josh, when I was in high school, gave me his NES because he didn't want it anymore. And there were about 40 games with it. The ones out of it that I remember, for some reason, are Street Fighter 2010, and I believe Monster in My Pocket was in there too, along with, you know, your usual collection of NES games. But how I first came to know this was, it was actually on Nick Arcade a few times back in the 90s, like when it first came out. I mentioned the fact that there were toy lines made for it and all that good stuff. It was also one of the games featured on Nick Arcade. Anyways, let's head on into our final video, our final segment here today. And we're back, and look, another Konami game, everybody. This is Jordan Mechner and Broderbund originally, Prince of Persia, picked up by Konami later. I believe what's really going on is that Konami picked up the rights to the console version, as we're seeing here. And Broderbund and Jordan Mechner kept the rights to the PC version. That's just my guess, though. B jumps. That's basically all you really need to know. Oh, and up grabs the ledge. That's the only other thing to know. I love games with this style of animation. Rotoscoping is what I believe it's called. This is kind of why I like, the reason I like the Indiana Jones game we've been talking about lately. Musically, it's haunting, but it fits. Oh! And of course, you don't want to let go of a ledge, because that might happen. You might fall into a pit of spikes like I did. Graphically and musically, the game is fine for an SNES game. Now, to those of you thinking, this is a classic, why is it on an underrated games episode? Because you don't hear enough people talking about this version of the game. Usually if you bring up Prince of Persia, you're either bringing up the PC version, or to be fair, you're bringing up it's a successor, Assassin's Creed, which was done in this style as well. That was by an entirely different company. I kind of would love to have seen what Konami would have done with something like that. But we'll talk about that in another episode. Made it across. And through the spiky gates. Now, as I said, Monster in My Pocket, and I'll repeat it here, I actually really like the wall cracks. It gives us a sense of foreboding and a sense of character to everything here. The music also makes this game seem really haunting and foreboding when it really isn't. It's just basically an adventure game. Other games use this style of animation, like the aforementioned Assassin's Creed, and obviously Aladdin used this style as well. But I really feel like Aladdin tried to benefit off the Prince of Persia style animation and graphics, because looking at that one, it reminds you a lot of Prince of Persia. Except you don't have a time limit to complete a level within Aladdin. careful jump across for no reason. And die. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I keep dying at the same exact spot. But if you want to play this, I would say just play Prince of Persia Classic instead. It's practically the same thing, just cheaper. I'll tell you how to get that in my final thoughts, which will come up here in just a second. And that was Jordan Mechner and Broderbund originally. That was their Prince of Persia. That made by Konami, of course. I believe the game was sold to Konami a little bit later. It's how Konami got their hands on it. But this one goes for a bit of an insane price now, so I wouldn't really recommend picking it up. Instead, try out Prince of Persia Classic on the Xbox 360 and I believe the PS3. I'll check into it later and put in the comments if it is on the PS3, but definitely check that out instead. It's like $10 and it's much cheaper. Same game, new graphics. Anyways, this has been Riv's Game Room, and Riv's Game Room is, Lenny, what's the word? Riv's Game Room is closed. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Pittsburgh.